I'd like to comment on 3 events. The first, of course, is what happened today. When that tree and flag hit the sky, we quite literally reached the point of no return. And we are going to have our museum, finally, after all these years. I've only been around here since about the turn of the century. And so I can remember that we were starting to dream of this day at least 15 years ago. And if it weren't for people like Irma, Ina Peterson, and many of you who urged us to keep the faith, we still wouldn't want to be here. We still wouldn't be here. Now I'd asked Eric to round up the usual suspects and seat them at my table. Irma and Don Gertzen, unfortunately, escaped and they were down in Phoenix to visit a daughter. But we did manage to corral Marianne Jackson, a longtime supporter, Margie Wright, past president, longtime supporter, Sonny Empey, and it's because of her suggestion that we had that ceremony today. Bob Wiley, a wonderful supporter. Sonny's partner, Leif, went in their squeeze box business. Most of you know my wife, Inger, of course. And then I have our daughter Kimberly here today, my sweetie wife. Her husband was going to be here, but he got called away suddenly on some important business like this. My brother John, who was a longtime supporter, was going to be here also, but his wife is in a retirement home, and they were having a St. Patty's Day party today too, so we're going to have a day off. My nephew Grant, who does most of the work in our company now, is off on his way to the mountains of Colorado for the fanciest wedding I have ever heard of. Going to happen tomorrow night up at Beaver Creek. So, I'm glad all of you are here. But the one that isn't here and should have been is Marianne. Marianne Forsway. This is a culmination of her dream of at least 30 years. And so do you, Marianne, over there in Sweden. Många tack så mycket and skål. And thank you so much. And to you too, Roland. We miss you. And of course today is St. Patty's Day. You got to remember that our forefathers were all Catholics many years ago before Martin Luther came along and stirred up the pot. St. Patrick left, went down to Ireland and chased out the snakes, but he left St. Olaf up to take care of the Scandinavians and the Nordics. So to both St. Patrick and St. Olaf, skål. And one last thing. On this day, 65 years ago, a young blonde Norwegian girl stepped off the steamship Stavanger onto the docks of New York, wondering why everybody was wearing green. She may still be in that quantity. But in any event, we married a little less than 2 years later. Been together now for over 63 years, fighting the normal Swedish, Norwegian battles. She lets me be boss once in a while. I call her mama, she says, I'm not your mama. We've had a great life together. We've been very, very fortunate in being able to participate in things like this with so many organizations of merit, to travel all over the world. You know, we've been on 66 cruises, 5 times around the world. We've been to the North Pole, and 6 times to the Antarctic. I returned a month ago for my 7th trip to the Antarctic. She didn't want to go. But anyway, it's been a great life. And hopefully it isn't over yet. But Mama, I'm sure glad you came to find out. I think that's about all I had. And thank you again for being here.
I'd like to ask you guys to stand and acknowledge Allan Osberg's incredible generosity in making this happen. You know, a few months ago at our annual board retreat, Allan, in his desire to help us close the gap on the last $6 or $7 million we still have to raise, offered up an additional $250,000 as a match. So anyone that gives a contribution will be matched by Allan's gift. And great news, today we just found out that that's been exhausted. So Allan, even though that gift is exhausted, there's still plenty of a need for the museum to move forward with the. I'm sorry.
That was done in less than 2 months. I made that offer at our retreat in late January.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't give you much time, but I'll give you about 6 months to do it again.